Happy good morning from Phoenix, Arizona. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about overcoming objections. 95% of the time after you give your presentation, ask for the order, you're going to get an objection or a stall. Usually it's a stall. And they say, let me get back to you. I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to talk to such and such. The reason why they say that is because they're not certain enough on the three tenets. Loving the product, trusting and connecting with you, and trusting and connecting with the company. So we have to build certainty in all three of those areas in order for somebody to buy. Okay? So these objections they give, as you know, as we've talked about, these are simply delays for certainty. They're not certain enough on those three areas to buy yet, to spend part with our money yet. So you got to realize that. And the very, very first objection we hear, we do a deflection. Now, the deflection are these precise words. I don't know why people seem to have a hard time with this. And I guess there's two things. There's your tone of voice. The first part is said with a reasonable person tone. Okay, that's reasonable. In a tone of voice, that's reasonable. You don't have to learn this. This is something you do all the time. Okay, that's reasonable. Yeah, in that tone of voice. You don't say the words reasonable. And then the second part is you say with a hypothetically speaking tone of voice. You don't say the words hypothetically speaking, but you say that in your tone of voice. Let's say that kind of tone of voice. Now, so there's two things going on. First, the first part is said with that tone of voice that is the reasonable man tone. The second part, the two questions back to back, are said with the, what is it? Remember? It is the, now I'm losing my train of thought, is the hypothetically speaking tone of voice, okay? So remember that. And remember, these two questions are said back to back. I don't know why people seem to have a hard time with it. They just say one of the questions, or they don't use the right tone. So here is exactly how to deflect the first, okay, that's great, thanks for the information, I want to do some more research. You don't just say, okay, in a high squeaky voice. No, you say, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? So you say those two things in that tone of voice back to back, precisely like that. Not any other way, just like that. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? Okay? That's very, very non-threatening, right? And that's why we say that. That's the first thing to the first objection. And then follow the words in the script after that. Okay? And then the second objection, third, fourth, fifth, we overcome it. Yeah, I want to think about it. And so what do we say? I want to think about it. I hear what you're saying. The challenge is we have a small window of opportunity before the courts could freeze your assets. We really don't have a lot of think about it time here. We need to do something, otherwise there's nothing we can do. So we have a small window of opportunity to protect you, and then start building certainty. Lower the action threshold, raise the pain threshold. You've already built certainty for the three tens, right? So that's the next step. The null objection, hop to another one, right? And we're not talking about high pressure. We're talking about you being a professional. Somebody has cancer, and if they don't have cancer surgery, they're going to die. They're going to die financially if they don't do something about it. So we have to master these things. We're not just shoe salespeople at Nordstrom. We are professionals, and we need to handle these objections like a professional, because this is what happens. 95% of the time, you're going to get a stall, delay, or an objection. You need to be able to master the responses if you're going to survive in this profession. All right. Have a great day.